And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Good afternoon. I'm National Weather Service meteorologist John Cowen with your Alaska Public Forecast. We'll start off taking a look at a few headlines across the state. We have blizzard conditions expected along the eastern Beaufort coast into tomorrow, mainly due to strong winds in that area leading to some blowing snow and reduced visibility. Snow and freezing rain are expected across much of the southern half of the state, generally from the southwestern interior into south central and as far east as the Copper River Valley. Rain continues for the Panhandle. Most areas of the Panhandle have changed over to rain at this point. However, we do still have some freezing rain and snow lingering across the northern Panhandle into this evening. And then generally warmer temperatures are expected for much of mainland Alaska over the next couple of days. Taking a look at our hazardous weather map, you can see our blizzard warning up in the Beaufort coast here. Again, this is for blowing snow leading to reduced visibility. And then a series of winter weather advisories across much of the southern portion of Alaska. Again, that's going to be for broadly snow and mixed with freezing rain for most of these areas. Across the Panhandle, we have still an ice storm warning in effect for portions of the northern Panhandle in through tonight. The rest of the Panhandle does have those flood watches, though, that continue through tonight as we have heavy rain continuing across the area. Taking a look at our satellite loop, you can see our system here south of Kodiak Island is the main low pressure system with a front extending into the interior and arcing over east to the Panhandle. This front is going to move north over the next few days and continue to bring that warm weather, warmer temperatures and unstable conditions across much of mainland Alaska. Across the Bering Sea, we have a much different scenario, though. We have cool air that's actually moving south from the northern part of the Bering, and that'll be cooling temperatures across the Bering and Aleutians over the next couple of days. Taking a look at our surface map here, you can see that cold front that does extend all the way across the Aleutians. Again, generally cooler temperatures are going to be working their way south here over the coming days. Our front here across the interior is going to continue to warm those temperatures and bring snow showers into the interior. Southerly flow does continue to bring more snow or mixed rain and snow showers to much of the immediate coastline across the northern Gulf over the next couple of days. Again, those warmer temperatures generally staying along the coast and getting cooler as you get towards the interior, but more mild. Temperatures generally near to above average for most areas. Still some snow showers expected into tonight across the interior, continuing to track northwest over the coming days. Northwestern Alaska does remain under the influence of high pressure, though, so we do expect some cooler temperatures in this area. However, generally speaking, as we go farther southeast, we'll see temperatures generally warmer than average for most areas. And then getting into Thursday, our next low pressure system here is going to move into the Gulf. Again, another shot of moisture moving up into the Panhandle where things have been really active for the last few days with some pretty hefty rainfall amounts for that area. And then finally across the Bering on Thursday, again, generally cooler weather moving in from the north. So let's take a look at that temperature forecast. So Wednesday morning, we have temperatures generally in the teens below across far northern Alaska. Generally pretty close to normal for interior, either side of zero. But you can see along the coast here across south central and especially the immediate coastline, low temperatures even in the low to mid 40s for some areas. The Panhandle, 45 degrees for the southern Panhandle for our low temperatures Wednesday morning. Getting into Wednesday afternoon, temperatures warming up to near 50 in the southern Panhandle. Again, those warmer temperatures now starting to creep up into the interior. Temperatures getting up to near or even above freezing in some areas as far north as the Alaska Range. Looking at about 20 degrees in Fairbanks. The North Slope generally staying either side of zero. Much of the Aleutians in the mid 30s to around 40. And then by Thursday morning, our low temperatures, again, northwestern Alaska still staying pretty cool with temperatures in the teens below. However, the interior is now starting to warm up, seeing temperatures well above zero, even into the teens for much of interior Alaska. South central looking at temperatures bottoming out around freezing, actually, for much of Cook Inlet for Thursday morning. The immediate coastline staying well above freezing, and again, 40s for much of the Panhandle into Thursday morning. And then by Thursday afternoon, again, looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 40s for much of the Panhandle, extending along much of the northern Gulf Coast, and in the interior, temperature is actually warming up to near freezing now, even creeping up north of the Alaska Range. Still teens expected for much of the state, south of the Brooks Range, and then in the northern parts of Alaska, again, either side of zero. So let's take a look at that temperature outlook in the 6 to 10 day range. You can see this pattern generally continues into the long term with warmer than average temperatures expected across southeast Alaska into the southeastern interior, and even slightly warmer than average expected even in those far northwestern parts of the state. Same can be said for much of the Aleutian chain. just slightly warmer than average. And then as we get into our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, again, wetter than average across much of southeastern Alaska, much of the state as well, a little bit on the drier side on the northern half of the state, but again, still wetter than average, and same story for the Aleutians. And that'll wrap up our public weather forecast. I'm meteorologist John Cowen.